Good evening, Commonwealth. Thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Chris Nelson. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. All clear is issued, but many remained in shelters today. Public school starts back tomorrow. Also tonight, the owners of a sunken vessel bring it back to life. And a natural attraction can become a very, very serious place when the weather gets rough. In sports, girls volleyball starts and stops and sputters full speed ahead. Maybe. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
48 hours. That's all we get in a week. But those 48 hours, we try to make them last forever. How? By filling in fast with all the right stuff. With a lot of laughter, a little drama, some adventure, and a whole lot of love.
Dad, Mom's here.
It happens pretty quick.
Bye, Dad.
But it's cool. Because the rest of the week, we talk about our plans.
You want to go to the beach?
On how to make the next 48 hours last us a lifetime.
Havaday Tirawami and good evening, Commonwealth. The all clear for Saipan, Tinian, and Rota was declared last night, but as of this morning, over 100 residents are still in shelters. Public school system will begin classes tomorrow. Sally Lemus reports.
During Typhoon Hagibis, 8 shelters on Saipan were able to accommodate more than 300 individuals. The all clear was announced last night, but 2 shelters remain operating. Earlier this morning, the shelter at Cagman High School had a head count of 37, while Marianas High School with 73 individuals. Shelter station at MHS cleared out at 8 a.m., while some residents at Cagman High School relocated to the Office of Aging.
They got here at 10:15 this morning. There's 12 of them, 12 head counts.
So how many
families are there? 3 families.
A resident from Cagman 3 who has been at the Cagman High School shelter since Monday shares with KSPN why his family is still seeking cover.
I'm not sure about how long are we going to be staying here. We're still looking for the right place to stay, especially for my 7 years old. We're looking for some kind of assistance. After that typhoon, 2 days, I went back there, my Danish town. It's full of water.
PSS will begin classes tomorrow and therefore collaborated with DCCA Secretary Robert Hunter, the Office of Aging, and CORA for the shelter relocation. Other organizations continue to reach out and offer their services to those in the shelters.
Public health, immunization team, and we have the Bureau of Environmental, and we also have the community guidance that came in, and we have the team from the Red Cross. They came in to check on the shelters and giving them counseling, talking to them. They provided immunization.
This is Sally Lemis for KSPN News.
In an ironic twist, a typhoon relief agency has its fundraiser postponed due to a typhoon. The NMI chapter of the American Red Cross postponed its annual Club 200 that had been scheduled for this Saturday. The new date is November the 9th. While the damage from the typhoon was relatively minor, 800 families are living in tents and 160 were still in shelters this morning. Red Cross volunteers were busy yesterday and today assessing the needs of vulnerable families and providing assistance. Managaha Island was closed today, and Tossie Tours was not sure this afternoon if the CNMI's top tourist attraction would be open tomorrow. They said they will check conditions early morning tomorrow before making the decision. The weather is getting better, but ocean conditions remain rough. The Saipan Grotto was closed today for those going into the water, but the area was open for sightseeing. Let's take a look. The grotto is one of the top natural attractions on Saipan. This sunken limestone cavern was pioneered by the late Ben Concepcion. Now, on a normal day, the water looks like this, and as swells come in, they push and pull the water, raising the level slightly and then lowering it. This area is called the washing machine, and this is a critical area you want to avoid being caught in, even on a relatively calm day. Water level here is affected by wind, swell, and tide. Now, on a normal day, the grotto is a very serious place, but when huge swells come in from the outside, the grotto can turn deadly quickly. Take a look at this video taken yesterday from Bird Island. If you look past Bird Island, this area is the outside of the grotto. Now, it just looks like coastline from afar, but there are 3 holes below the surface where water can enter and exit. When typhoons pass by and the sea is churned up, that pushing and pulling is magnified, and the huge swells that come from outside slam into the small space and make the inside of the grotto look like this. The water rushes in and fills the space, and then just as quickly that water wants to return to sea level and take with it everything in its path. As you can see, a very, very dangerous place to be. This morning the grotto was closed to divers and snorkelers. A lifeguard was posted and scheduled to check on the conditions each hour. Typhoon continues to move away, but ocean conditions expected to remain rough around the island for the next couple of days. Public is urged to take precautions when in and around the ocean. And remember, almost all beaches are not lifeguarded in the CNMI. If in doubt, do not go out. And remember to use local knowledge to warn tourists who may not be aware of local conditions. Owners of the vessel which sank yesterday were able to get the boat floated this afternoon. Let's head to Outer Cove Marina for this story. The Mizuwari, which was under the water yesterday with just its bridge above sea level, was in much better condition today as a crew worked to bring it up.
This morning we got bad news about all sinking. We are almost 1 day for make sling and chain block, now put up.
This afternoon they continued to pump the water out. Saipan Sea Ventures thinks the swim ladder may have gotten wedged in under the dock during the storm, which allowed the ocean water to flow in. Coast Guard was watching the process today.
Our main job in the Coast Guard is to ensure that the owner or operator is going to clean up the vessel's pollution. So any oil, hazardous waste, batteries, anything in the boat that could cause harm to the environment, we make sure they do every step possible to get it out.
Yesterday, the Coast Guard estimated that about 7 gallons of diesel fuel went into the ocean. This orange boom was put around the vessel to contain the fuel.
We believe that's all that actually entered the ocean, and we say that because the vessel was basically empty of fuel prior to this happening. So.
Okay. And then is this vessel going to be able to be salvaged, and then will you guys inspect it before it goes back out?
That is up to the owner if they want to try to salvage it. And if they want to, it depends on what they want to use the vessel for, to whether or not we're going to inspect it.
Smiling Cove was still being used to store most of the big boats today. It was still too rough to be out on the water, and the channel remained closed today as the Coast Guard was preparing to check the navigation buoys.
As far as vessels, this is the only incident that happened. Everyone was really well prepared for the storm, and because of that, it eliminated any kind of problem we had.
Coming up, we will head over to one of the local hotels and see how they got ready for the typhoon. More news coming up after the break.
Winigi PHI Pharmacy in Gofadahi, Ihinim Lomo.
Our complete line of pharmaceuticals and lowest prices ensure you get the treatment that you deserve.
Our compassionate, friendly, multilingual staff will take the time to get to know you, explain your medications to you, and answer any questions that you may have.
Ngere eyor sumaye ukalweres ren, kutsu wayor sa feye emal ebalisiu klalyam weres.
Inumin ng inyong gamot ayon sa inireseta ng inyong doktor at alinsunod sa bilin ng inyong pharmaceutical.
We accept most insurance, but in case you don't have coverage, we offer cost-effective generic drugs.
PHI Pharmacy, your lifelong partner in health. PHI, the pharmacy you can trust.
Welcome back, watching the Wednesday night edition of the Channel 2 News. What do hotels do to get ready with a house full of guests and bad weather on its way? Let's take a look.
We have to have teamwork all the time, the whole night.
Rosalind Quintaniza grew up on Tinian, and her parents were farmers, and she grew up working hard. She's now the director of rooms at Hyatt Regency Saipan. Having gone through Sudalore and U2 has given her a unique perspective on preparing for storms. What steps do you take with your team?
The safety of everyone is the main thing, so we need to make sure that everything that we prepare, like putting down the shutters, for example, we need to make sure that it's in working order. We need to make sure that all windows are secured, to make sure that nothing goes in, and then we just prepare for everything.
One big issue for the Hyatt is these sliding glass doors. During previous storms, some guests would try to open the doors to their balcony, and the results not good.
That's very important because once the pressure, you open it, the pressure will just go in and it will just pop the whole windows out. So we have experienced that in the past. So it's important, so we put out a notice letting people know that please do not open the sliding door.
Rosalind says other than some minor flooding, the hotel came through this past storm pretty well. Island was spared from the typhoon. Government agencies out there in the community preparing, or rather helping. Sally Lemus reports.
After receiving the warnings about Typhoon Hagibis, the mayor's office, teaming up with EOC and DFAMS, went around the island searching for residents who needed help in taking down the tents. Yesterday, they sent out 4 teams out into the villages and primary roads to remove debris, branches, and trees that fell and blocked the roadways. According to Joanne Aquino, Field Operations Director, there was no serious damage done to the island. A big flame tree along Quartermaster Road fell and blocked the roadway, but luckily, it was removed. The mayor's office, along with other agencies, will continue in this joint effort in cleaning up after Typhoon Hagibis. They will continue to assist the public in getting rid of debris left from Typhoon Hagibis. They do ask the community to do their part and separate them by green waste, tin, and metal. They want to remind the public that they are not picking up household trash and to call the mayor's office for more concerns. This is Sally Lemis for KSPN.
Thanks, Sally. CUC informs the public today that all tank service areas are back online, except for Dandan and Asfalape. Dandan was online, but last night the line broke from high pressure. CUC worked on that this afternoon, and they said they expected to have it fixed by 4:30 with resumption of water service after that. The Falape tank has booster pump problems, which was being troubleshooted to identify the issue. Former police officer pleaded not guilty to an amended indictment with charges on homicide of a fellow police officer. Also, senators giving out generous raises at the 35th legislature. Let's head to Guam.
Havane Tato CNMI, here's what's making news on Guam. Mark Torrey Jr. was arraigned in the Superior Court of Guam Tuesday afternoon and pled not guilty to an amended indictment charging him with negligent homicide as a third-degree felony. While defense attorney Jay Ariola, however, has filed a motion to dismiss the amended indictment, citing technical issues with the evidence that was presented to the grand jury. He's also requesting for oral arguments on the motion. A further proceeding here is scheduled for October 31st. Torrey, a former police officer, is accused for the 2015 fatal shooting of fellow cop Albert Piolo. In the second trial of the case, Torrey has asserted his right to a speedy trial, and following today's arraignment, the case must go to trial within 45 days. Well, while rank-and-file GovGuam employees spent the last fiscal year without salary increments, senators were handing out pay adjustments in the 35th Guam legislature. Here's more. Only 20 senatorial staffers received raises so far in the 35th Guam legislature. According to documents obtained by KUAM News, Senator Jose Pito Terlahi not only gave out the most raises to his staff, he gave out the biggest raises too. Senator Pito Terlahi, the legislative chair of Public Safety, Border Safety, Mayors, Infrastructure, Military and Veterans Affairs, and Mass Transit, handed out $23,000 in raises for 5 staffers so far in 2019. Less than a month after taking office, Chief of Staff Charissa Tenorio, Policy Analyst Chris Carrillo, and Legislative Analyst Therese Hart each received thousands of dollars in raises. Tenorio, the sister of Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio, got a $7,280 salary adjustment on February 4th. Tenorio's pay going from $47,840 a year to $55,120 annually. Carrillo received a $3,006 salary adjustment and is now making $44,720 a year. Hart received a $3,120 raise. These raises had an effective date of January 21st, 2019. Hart received 2 raises this year. According to personnel docs, Hart also received a $7,280 salary adjustment in May. Her pay went from $34,320 a year to $41,600 annually. Hart has received $10,400 in pay raises in 2019. Senator Pito Terlahi staffers Tina Maria Nagauta and Nadine Torres also got over $1,000 in raises each in May. Minority Leader Senator Will Castro gave a $6,518 raise to staffer Francis Toves. The personnel docs say salary increase 60 hours. Toves is now paid $26,071 annually. Central Office Legislative Officer 1 Roy Kanata was on the receiving end of a $5,920 salary adjustment in February. Kanata's hourly pay went up $3, while his position title stayed the same. His pay went from $22,880 to $28,000 annually. Vice Speaker Senator Talina Nelson staffer Desiree Mesa received a $5,820 salary adjustment, bumping her pay up to $26,677 in June, but that pay increase was rescinded in the beginning of September. Office of Finance and Budget's Llewellyn Terlahi also received a raise. Her pay went up nearly $5,000. Terlahi now makes $64,480 annually. Stay connected by way of our KUAM mobile news app or follow us on any of the social media platforms and sign up for our weekly email newsletter. That's the KUAM Digital Digest on KUAM.com. For Guam's News Network, I'm Chris Barnett.
Thank you, Chris. Coming up, some people like obstacles and see them as something to overcome. KSPN2 Sports shall overcome.
Faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps, all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
Watch
Watch the Visitors Channel online, on time, anytime at saipantv.com. Where to go, what to see, what to do. Restaurants, spas, activities, and culture. It's all in one place, in high definition, on your mobile device. saipantv.com. Check it out.
Welcome to Marianas Medical Center. We've been taking care of you and your family since 1998. We offer preventive health care services, acute and chronic care for both adults and children.
微产期以及妇科的检查.
신생아 선별 검사 및 영유아 건강 검진.
Meron po kaming food handlers, green cards, school at sports clearances.
Greenig Marianas Medical Center oferece todo klaseng serbisyo para hinimli familya mismo siya.
We accept Medicaid, Medicare, and most private insurance plans, and we also accept individuals without any medical insurance. We're conveniently located in the JKR building on Beach Road, Garapan. Marianas Medical Center, quality health care for your entire family.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, pardon the interruption. Well, the girls' high school volleyball season has had more false starts than the visiting team at CenturyLink Field. On, off, on, off. The MHS gym was renovated, kinda, sorta, almost anyway, and then a couple of weeks ago, leaks sprouted during a heavy rain. And yesterday, a typhoon canceled the games, but in between that, last Thursday, they were able to squeeze some games in. The girls, well, you know, they're just happy to have a chance to play indoors. Ask Selena after the Azuzu defeated Mount Carmel 1. What does it mean to be Kagman? What does it mean to the girls and having this opportunity?
It's honestly an honor to play in this court. You feel me? Yes, play volleyball.
SIS in blue versus MHS 2 in yellow. First set, the Geckos get the point for their legendary coach, Millie Psyche, who also reaches high all the time. Dolphins serving Kiana Cabrera, the one-hit wonder, point for the Aslido girls. The Geckos will take that. Thank you very much. The Dolphins will take that. Thank you very much. The first set was close. MHS 2 squeaks by, 26-24. Kick saves, you know, they were not always legal in volleyball, but I think MHS instructor Jim Fager convinced them to change the rule, which is more player and fan friendly. MHS 2 dominated the second set 25-9 to snatch the win. Meanwhile, a few yards to the south on the adjacent court, Agape Christian School in red versus Mount Carmel 2 in navy. It was all fun, even on a flub. After the Lady Knights took the first set 25-21, they kicked the second set away 18-24. That allowed the Torchbearers to square the match. This game went to a third set, with Raleigh scoring another rock ball invention borrowed by the International Volleyball. Maybe, I think so. Anyway, may she serve a winner? Yes, she may. Point for the Gualo Rye girls. May she serve another? No. Knights win the third set 15-8 for the victory. The Great Northeast Athletic Conference has selected its Rookie of the Week for men's soccer. A Saipan High School and NAMIFA graduate is turning heads as a college freshman. 18-year-old Sunjun Tenorio was selected as Rookie of the Week after scoring 2 goals and also an assist this week for Suffolk University in Boston, Mass. In 10 games, the NMI national players amassed, get it, a team-high 6 goals and 2 assists. The 6 scores are the 7th overall most in this conference, which has 12 teams. Congratulations, Sun Jun. He's just starting. Well, the UK is okay for 2 Saipan athletes who took off today for London, England. The Typhoon was no obstacle for these 2 guys.
What is flag.
That? What do you got there?
You probably can't see it right there, but our CNMI flag is there now, along with 68 countries.
68 countries? That represents about 1/3 of the whole world. The 2019 Obstacle Course Racing World Championships this year are in Great Britain. James Lee and Rodney Camacho earned the right to compete there after qualifying in a race on Guam. They're moving up to a higher level now with the top obstacle racers in the world, where just completing the course is an accomplishment by itself.
Just finishing off the race. It's going to be a tough one. We have our Friday, we're doing a 3K, just kind of warm up with about 30 obstacles, and then Saturday is the pro division. That's going to be a 15K, about 100 obstacles. Sunday, it was supposed to be a team relay with myself and a couple of teammate from Guam, but I decided to step out on that and let the Guam team have fun, and maybe next year I'll bring a team from CNMI.
Lee competes in the elite division, while Rodney Camacho is a level below.
Rodney Camacho is actually going to be following me as well. He's going to be doing the 7K on Sunday, so just for recreation, at least for experience, but it's definitely exciting about that.
Win, lose, or draw, Lee sees this as a win-win situation.
I'm mostly excited to bring our flag down there, making CNMI the 68th country, so our flag's going to be flying high for sure.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Get your game and gear at Gold's Gym Saipan. Group exercise is a great way to get fit and then stay fit. For something high tempo, go for a ride with one of our instructors in our new spin room. Let's roll. Pilates improves flexibility, builds strength, and develops control and endurance in the whole human body. It also improves coordination and balance. And the Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplement. See you at Gold's Gym.
Traveling or laying over on Guam? Don't wait around. Zip into Guam Adventures Zipline Park inside the Hilton Resort and Spa. Guides will take you through a series of zips, starting with a mountain course and then zip over the ocean with spectacular views of Tumon Bay. 6 zip lines in all deliver a thrilling experience, and it's family friendly, so bring the kids ages 6 and up. You'll love the security of double lines and a new braking system to make riding smoother. The towers are named after the islands in the Marianas. We call it the Island Hopper. Your guides will teach you what you need to know to soar through the jungle with a bird's eye view. Best of all, for residents of Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, you can book this experience at 20% savings. Log on to GuamAdventures.com and during checkout, use offer code HAFA20. Book it and zip it today. We'll even pick you up. Good riddance, Typhoon Hagibus. Today's high 86, the low 77, humidity 82%. Tomorrow, the reappearance of the sun. Isolated showers, south winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, high 87, low 77. A small craft advisory is in effect through Friday morning. Seas are right now very rough, 12 to 14 feet, but subsiding by tomorrow. Sunrise Thursday will be at 6:07. There's a low tide at 11:38. Sunset will be 6 straight up.
I tell you, it doesn't feel like there's much low tide when you have the storm surge coming
I went down
in.
at Micro Beach at lunchtime just to check out the waves. You know, if you drive on Beach Road, it's a little bit rough, but it's not that choppy and there's no waves coming in. Go to Micro Beach and they're like 2 feet. A lot of chop out there. It is very rough at Micro Beach. The currents.
Yeah.
Stronger than you can swim.
Coast Guard saying that the port is in Zulu condition, which means closed. They're going to go out hopefully tomorrow, and they take a look at the channel buoys there, the red and green markers, and they have GPS positions on those buoys, and they make sure that they're in the correct place, that they're not moved by the storm. that does mark the channel, and when the big vessels come in that are delivering cars and containers and things like that, they've got to be in the right spot of that channel, so they want to make sure that those buoys are in the correct place, didn't get moved by the storm. If they do get moved, they need to move them back before the vessels come in. So.
We're going to have a western swell coming in for the rest of this week. Remember yesterday, peak wave at Tanapic Buoy during the storm, 41 feet.
That's big.
That's giant. That's right off the reef, dude.
Well, it's nice to have sports back in the show
It's
tonight.
good to be
Life's
back.
getting slowly back to normal for most of us. There's still some people in shelters and still some people in tents. So it's amazing to think coming up on 1 year and we still have a lot of people in tents.
There's still people living in tents. For me, normal's not normal. Normal is great. I love normal.
That is news, sports, and weather on this Wednesday in the Commonwealth. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Good night.